Hi guys and welcome to my video. Um, this is the third in the series. And I know it's been a while between Halloween videos, but after my last one I really went into kind of a crafting funk. So this one I had a pretty good idea of what to do, and so I thought I'd get started. Here I'm taking my spider background stamp by Hampton Art and stamping it with my Opalite ink. It's by the color is Cypress Frost. I got both of those at Tuesday morning. And there's spots on the top and on the side so that you can connect them. So I'm just using my Stamp-A-Majig to line them up. I did try playing around without using that, didn't work. And then the white on the bottom was just to hold the paper still for me. And now I'm just cleaning up the stamp because all the little crevices in it. And then my Stamp-A-Majig here soon. So I appreciate you guys coming back and watching my video and hanging in there with me. I'm hoping to have 2 more coming here soon. This spider stamp I got at Michael's, and I want to say it's called Spider Sam, but the lettering has rubbed off enough that I'm not 100% sure. And the gray little border around her that you see came on the stamp, and I just didn't like it. Now I'm just taking my Copic markers and coloring her in. I'm using N0, N4, and N6 to color her. I wanted to give her kind of the spidery look, but without blending her into the background. So I thought my neutral grays would work. And I think she's just really cute. I really just didn't like the border that was around her, but I couldn't pass it up. I got her in the clearance section at Michael's, so yeah. And then I just put a little bit of pink in for her mouth. I'm not sure what color it is. It was kind of a whim. And then now I'm just putting some Y02 and Y07 on her hat again, just to make her look a little more fun, a little more Halloweeny. And then I'm blending those two together. And then I'm taking my N04, N4, N6, and N8 to color her hat. Again, wanted the feel of the dark black hat, but without blending it into the cardstock. Even with that stamp, I thought that would just be way too much black. So now I'm just blending all the colors through. I also didn't want it to match her exactly either, so why I picked the darkers of the color. And now I'm just grabbing my YR02 and YR07, to color the orange part of the candy cane there, or candy corn. Apparently my brain wants to start Christmas now. I don't, but it does. And I'm just blending the 2 colors together. Really didn't even need the 2 colors, but you know, did it anyways. And then I'm just taking my Y11 and Y13 for the yellow, and then just a white gel pen to kind of clean up any bleed over and color that. I didn't end up using these, so I just didn't edit this part out. But this stamp was at Michael's too. I didn't care for it, and I couldn't get it to stamp nice. And I thought that I'd take the crummier one and then just piece everything over it, but I ended up not using it at all. My original plan was to have it look like she had picked one of the candy cane in her arm or her legs out of this group, but I just didn't like the way they turned out, so I X-nayed it. And then my camera died, so I got to this point and realized that it had died. This is also a Michael's stamp. It's one of their dollar stamps, and I'm just taking my YR07 and coloring in the Happy Halloween just to make it stamp out a little bit more. Stand out, not stamp out. And then just taking some of my Doodlebug Halloween twine to make it look like she's hanging off of the spider web. And I kind of like that it's smaller because it makes it, even though I eventually do pop it up with pop dots, it makes it look like she's a lot farther away from it. And then I'm just taking my N8, because I couldn't find my black, to cover up all the white spots. And I think next time I'm just gonna cut her legs off, even though I cut quite a few of them off in this process because they were just so tiny. But again, I didn't particularly want that background or that square around her. I just wanted her and the candy corn. So I'm just kind of cleaning it up so that I can attach my twine to it. And the twine that I got from I'm drawing a blank where I got it. I got it recently. I believe it was from scrapbook.com. And I'm just taking a piece of Scotch tape to hold it in place. I couldn't think of anything else that would hold it. And now I'm just trimming off any tape that's sticking over. And I left the white part in front of her legs because I didn't want to risk everything, but I think it looks kind of cool with the white. This makes her stand out just a little bit more. Not to mention it gives me a better spot to put the Pop Dot. Or the foam adhesive, excuse me. And I'm just kind of deciding where I want her to go and fiddling around with the tape that doesn't want to stick. And then I decide to take my ribbon here and wrap it around, and this is just orange opal from Joann's. I got it in their clearance section, and I thought it was just really pretty, and kind of a fun Halloweeny orange in my book. I mean, just, you know, a little bit of sparkle sort of thing. And now I'm just trying to get the ribbon to line up. I couldn't seem to get it to line up, and then once I did, it wouldn't stay laying flat. So I do apologize for some of this being off camera. I've got to figure out a better way of doing all this, but I need stuff close to me, but if you guys are too close, then everything is really hard to see. So I am working on it. I'm also hoping that I've been a good enough girl this season, or this year, that Santa will bring me a new camera, or maybe just a better tripod. So I'm just sticking her down, and then I took my Martha Stewart glue pen to stick her legs down, and I thought this just made her look like she was kind of popping off the page more, you know, pushing off. And I left the white on there because her legs kind of curl, like, you know, the ends curl in, but I didn't want all of that because then I really would have messed her up. But I also didn't want to color them in, even though I probably could have, or put little jewels on there, but I think it looks pretty cool the way it is. And then this last leg I couldn't get to stick down, so I used one of my micro glue dots to stick it down. And now I'm just trying to tie a ribbon on it, or tie a bow on it, but I end up taking it off because this is just so thick and stiff around the edges it doesn't quite work. And I had to take a glue dot to stick it down in one spot. So I'm just tying a bow to stick on there. And again, the bow was a bit of a pain to do just because of the stiffness in it, but I think it turned out really cute. I mean, I really like it. For me, it was worth all this. The fighting with it and getting it to work. I think it turned out really cute. So I trimmed off some of the edges, or some of the excess, and just got a couple of my glue dots to stick it on there. And this is all going on a oops, give me a second. We're just gonna round it. A 4x5 card. It's from the paper company, but I got it at Michael's at one point. Otherwise, I'd normally make my own cards. I didn't want to. Now I'm taking my nested candy corn dies from Spellbinders and running them through, and this is just scratch paper with glimmer mist on them. Yellow is Sun Sisters, the orange is Candy Corn, and the white is Dazzling Diamonds. I thought about leaving the white blank, but didn't want to leave it white. And now I'm just trying to figure out where to place it. My original plan was to have this on the front of the card, but I didn't like the idea of the spider on there. I thought it would be too much, and then I had the spider background stamp, so I use that. And then the black piece is just a trim of what was left over from the front background. So I thought I would just stick it inside to kind of break up some of the white. And again, as you can see, I'm trying to find it because the white top of the candy corn just blends in a bit too much for me. But I didn't want to cover up all the spiders at the same time, so I'm just kind of playing around, trying to figure it out. And getting that all situated. And then I thought I had a pretty good idea, so I started sticking them down, and then realized that I had stuck the top here too far down. Couldn't get it up. Eventually did, but I ripped the entire card, so I had to pull everything off. And I'm just now hunting for the big black piece of scratch cardstock that I thought I had sitting next to me, which turned out to have fallen down under my chair. So I'm just trying to find that so that I can stick that on there. And I think it ends up working out well because it helps the candy corn stand out a little bit more, and you don't lose the white top of the candy corn against the white card. So the Glimmer Mist that I use I thought was really nice because it allowed for a little bit of shimmer and some color, but not so much that you can't write on it. Now I'm just trying to decide how I want to put this black paper on. I thought about just leaving it, but I didn't want to trim it down because of how far up the rip in the paper or the card was. So I just covered the whole inside with the black, and now I'm just trimming off around the edges. I didn't want to take the time to measure. This way it's just a little bit faster for me. So I'm trimming off all the edges and trying to get all of the black off. I had a little bit of glue overhang and then a little bit of black, and so I'm just trimming all that up. And now I'm just sticking everything down. Again, there's enough space to write a sentiment on the inside, but I didn't have any stamped sentiments, so I left it blank, but I thought the candy corn inside, it ends up working because there's candy corn on the front. It all ties itself in well. And that's it for this card. This first image I was hoping would show you a little bit more of what the Glimmer Mist would do, but I don't know if it's my lighting or what. But this is the inside of the card, and then the front, and then just the outside. Thanks for watching, and have a crafty day. Happy crafting all. Bye.